And at Aloha Stadium, I'm Al Morikami along with Randy Miyamoto bringing you tonight's OIA football playoffs. Tonight's game features the Farrington Governors, the third place team in the OIA Red Division, versus Kaiser, the Blue Division title winners. As you see here, of course, the teams meeting at midfield here for the pregame welcome and handshake. Coming into this game, Farrington 4-2 on the season. On offense, Farrington tops in rushing, or I should say actually second in rushing, 1,294 yards and 2,148 yards overall, holding down second place in total overall offense. Farrington, of course, on the ground, very good against the run on defense, 793 yards allowed on the ground. Against the pass, they've allowed 835 yards. The interesting thing, of course, about this Farrington team this year is the fact that they're passing the ball so well, Randy. Shippey for Farrington, 41 of 96 passes for 691 yards. And you've talked with the Farrington coaches. How do they feel about their passing game?
They're pretty excited. Shippey just has to be in control tonight, hit some short passes, and mix up the ground game with his passing game, and then Farrington should be successful.
Indeed, in their ground game led by Josh White, 590 yards rushing on 76 total carries, a 7.8 yards per carry average. Kahakai, their big fullback, has rushed for 310 yards, 7.9 yards per carry, and Skipadias hoping that that combination, of course, will make it unnecessary for them to have to go through the air. Kaiser, on the other hand, of course, a team that basically likes to put it up behind Leon Zai, their quarterback, 432 yards passing. Fowler, their second quarterback that sometimes comes in to spell him, has 167 yards on 10 completions of 18 attempts. Kaiser with 3 young men in the receiving column. Chu with 14 catches for 231 yards for a 16.5 average, 16.5 yards per game average. Chan for Kaiser, 13 catches for 119 yards, 9.2 yards per catch, and 15.7 for Fowler of Kaiser. He is also their backup quarterback. Fowler, of course, with 6 catches on the year for 94 yards, a 15.7 yard average. As both teams get set here for the kickoff, Farrington will be kicking away. Receiving will be the Kaiser Cougars. Part of their 1-2 punch on the ground. Reggie Baker back there at the 5-yard line, ready to receive the kickoff. And kicking away from the 40-yard line, this is Farrington's Petelo Talia, will be kicking off here. And Baker comes up to his 12-yard line and goes immediately up the middle, finds a crease, bursts out over the 35 down to the 36-yard line. And Randy, right off the bat, good return by the Kaiser Cougars.
Tim Siemens says special teams is a big key for him because Kaiser, the champion of the OIA Blue Division, has to rely on speed and quickness tonight.
And as you see here, Baker returning the ball for 23 yards, finding some good blocking as he weaves his way up the middle, and finally brought down out there by Tupuola of Farrington. And right off the opening play, a penalty called. We'll see what this is about, as referee Glenn Young and his crew hold up action here.
Mid-ball fall, full start on the offense.
And false start called against Kaiser, so Kaiser marches backwards off their first play from scrimmage on the penalty, bringing up a 1st and 15.
Little jitters here. Farrington been playing in the stadium. Kaiser, first time in a long while. They're excited tonight.
1st and 15 on the 31 for the Kaiser Cougars. Anzai opens at quarterback. Baker with the pitch. Finds some running room to the far side. Baker, first down yardage out over the 45-yard line down to possibly the 48. And as you see here, Baker finding some running room to the far side on the reverse angle camera picture here that we have. As coming up and taking him out of bounds is Lolisoyo Tovio. Man in motion is Fowler here to the near side. Baker. And the Governor's defense strings him out and brings him down along the near sidelines. Making the initial hit, Sean Mersberg.
Good penetration by the Governor linebackers.
You see Anzai here on the first down play. Baker looking for some running room, but good defense here by Mersberg and company, stringing the play out and keeping Baker to no gain. Double slot formation for the Cougars. Fowler. Anzai with a man open. Fowler able to get open downfield, but the pass just a little long and beyond his fingertips. Bringing up a 3rd and long now at the Kaiser 47. Third and 10 for the Cougars. The Kaiser Cougars returning to the playoffs after a bit of a drought. Kaiser, some of you might remember, in the late 1970s, quite a powerhouse back then in the OIA. Trying to return to that status. On 3rd and long, this will be Anzai taking it all himself. He had a little bit of running room, but basically shoved out of bounds up around the 50, up around Farrington territory, possibly the 49. Taking him out there is the defender, Chris Kahalehoe.
Anzai has a real quickness to him, but unfortunately Farrington's pursuit is really great. And as they stop him to about 2 yards.
And that brings up 4th down now, and Kaiser to punt it away. Taking in the short kick is Shane Rumusad, one of the 2 punt return specialists for the Governors of Farrington. As the Farrington offensive unit will take the field. This unit, Randy, this year, somewhat atypical in the fact that although they still feature a good ground game, they throw the ball very well through the air, and they do it very efficiently.
Big reason to that is Coach Elroy Chong, who's come over and directed a great passing game, where Farrington was normally noted for running.
And here's Shippey on the naked bootleg. Gets a couple of yards over the 25 down to around, they'll call it, I think, about the 27, 28 yard line. Bringing him down out there was Kaiser's Blaine Sato.
Shippey rolls out, can't find a receiver, decides to run. Good job by number 25, Blaine Sato.
Shippey. The give. And good yardage is Jonard Assumption. And Assumption ahead for a couple of yards. Assumption, the unsung hero, or unsung running back, I should say, here.
All he does is follow that big line. Big hole by the guard and tackles on the left side.
Does a good job getting up in there, Randy. And here's Josh White, one of their top ground gainers, breaking out over midfield, over the 40, down to the 35, down to the Kaiser 30-yard line. Pickup of about, we'll call it about roughly 25, I believe. As taking him out of bounds, Dustin Konishi for Kaiser. But here's White, combination of power and good moves, Randy.
Good running by Josh White, number 1 runner in the OIA Red.
So on 1st and 10 from the Kaiser 33, the Govs trying to run the corner, and Jonard Assumption brought down by the Kaiser defense, as Kaiser doing a good job stringing out the play there. Holding Assumption to only about a yard gain, and that's about it.
The key for Farrington is they have to move the ball on the ground and mix it up a little with the pass, Al. And they're doing a good job so far.
2nd and 13 on the 36 of Kaiser for Farrington. Shippy on the reverse. The give is to Sangapolu. Molesi Sangapolu. The slot back 5'8", 160. Getting ahead for a couple of yards there on 2nd down. As you see here, good misdirection by the Farrington offense. And here's Sangapolu just bringing it upfield all by himself. Running into some white-shirted defenders for Kaiser and brought down up around the Kaiser 30-yard line. Going upstairs, this is Shippy. Has a man. Pass just a little too long. His intended receiver out there is Molesi Sangapolu. Credit Leon Zai going both ways out there. The defensive back covering the Farrington receiver out there. As Shippy now looking at 4th down.
Well, the key to that play was a good pass rush by the Cougar front line. Rushed Shippy a little bit, hurried the pass. 4th and about 8.
So Shippy, Farrington looking for their first 4th down conversion this evening. The give to White and a reverse to Sangapolu. And credit the defender for Kaiser, Blaine Sato, coming up with a big stop to stuff the running play there, and the ball turned over on downs over to the Kaiser Cougars.
Sato really did a good job plugging that hole, stopping Asuncion just short of the 1st down.
And so 1st and 10 now for Kaiser at their own 26-yard line. Man in motion is Fowler, and he sets up in a trip sets to the near side. The give is to Baker, and he breaks out ahead for a couple of yards. Out near the 29. Well, that's rather Kuma now in the ball game. They like to alternate these two young men. Kuma along with Reggie Baker, their fine runner. Kuma plays both linebacker and fullback. Kuma a lot to handle in being able to power up the middle on the offense when Kaiser goes to the ground game. Anzai starts to put Fowler in motion, and instead Anzai thinks better of it and calls timeout and wants to talk to his coach Tim Seaman along the sideline. So with 5:17 remaining in the 1st quarter, scoreless tie between Kaiser and Farrington.
Give me an E.
E.
Give me an S.
Come on, give me an S.
What do you get?
Yes!
And back to action at Aloha Stadium. Coach Tim Seaman and his staff talking things over with their young men out there. Quarterback Leon Zai looking to put his receiver and backup quarterback Max Fowler in motion. Fowler not knowing what he was supposed to do, so Anzai wisely calling a timeout in that situation.
Better to call it now, Al, than a crucial time in the game. Get your instructions from the coach and get it right. Smart move by the quarterback.
So that brings up a 2nd and 6 on the 30-yard line for the Kaiser Cougars. Ball at their own 30-yard line. Cougars will bring wide receiver Daniel Chu to the far side now as they set up in a wing to the near side and a slot man to the far side. Now Fowler goes in motion to the far side. On the fake, this is Anzai by himself. 1st down yardage and a little more. Making the big hit out there, number 51, Ezekiel Dello for Farrington. As Kuma pulls, as Anzai pulls the ball out from Kuma, and Anzai with some running room shifts and cuts back and enough to pick up the first down up around the 39-yard line of the Cougars. Fowler again going in motion to the far side as Anzai options out to Baker. Baker looking for some running room, nothing doing, and the Farrington defense swallows him up. Credit number 51, Ezekiel Dello once again.
That whole front line, Al, is really a back line or defensive line doing a fantastic job plugging up the holes.
And Anzai coming down the line, just optioning. Nice pitch to his running back, Baker. But Baker with absolutely nowhere to go as Dello comes in and wraps him up. So that brings up a 2nd and 10 for Kaiser. Trip sets to the near side. Anzai with the deep pass. This is going to be way too long for his intended receiver out there, Daniel Chu. Drawing double coverage from the Farrington defense out there. Keone Kealo Fatiaki, a young man on the coverage out there, along with Shane Rumusat, I believe. Also out there to lend assistance. Brings up a 3rd and 10 on the 39 of the Cougars. Double reverse and a fumble, and picking it up, the Farrington defender. Lineman Rodwell Taleai alertly picking up the fumble, rumbles and returns it down around the 5-yard line of the Kaiser Cougars, and Farrington with their first scoring opportunity coming up.
A lot of misdirection here, but Farrington with their tough D swarms to that ball, and as you can see, number 75 Taleai picks it up and rumbles towards the end zone.
So Farrington, I formation, first scoring opportunity in the red zone. And the give is to White, and White plunges for the end zone. And let's see, we have a flag on the play. This will all be called back. Farrington having their problems when they're in the red zone, taking care of the ball, and sometimes getting a little too reckless. It cost them the game against Waianae, an opportunity perhaps to upset the Sea Riders several weeks back.
An illegal procedure on the offense. Retrieve first down.
So following the illegal procedure call, Farrington backed up to the Kaiser 10-yard line. I formation, end split, and here comes White sweeping the corner. White struggles, and White gets down to around the 1-yard line. As the Kaiser Cougars trying to string out the play, but White using the combination of swiftness and power to get the ball up around the 1-yard line. It'll bring up a 2nd and goal now.
White follows his blockers really well. Uses his blockers, cuts, and does his best to reach the goal. 2nd and goal, Al.
And Kuma taking him out there along the sideline. The give is to Kahakai, their big fullback, or excuse me, that's Ivan Wand. And Ivan Wand gets in from 1 yard out, powering his way into the end zone for a Farrington touchdown. So the Governors score first and draw first blood with 3:09 remaining here in the first quarter. And the Governors line up for the extra point kick. And punching it up and through. I believe that's Frederick Salanoa. But anyway, a 1 yard run and the extra point good. And Farrington leads it 7-0.
Look at Ivan Wan as he takes this ball and just makes it in the end zone. fullback, 5'7", 195, a senior. Another product to this powerful offense.
And looking on, a very pleased Farrington coach, Skipper Diaz, as Farrington leading 7-0 here with 3:09 remaining here in the first quarter.
Skipper's looking at this game as a beginning for the playoffs, and he just wants to fine-tune this Farrington team for the up-and-coming games. Farrington looks awfully tough tonight.
As the Farrington band enjoying themselves while the Cougars looking on. Cougars known for their speed and quickness and ability to throw the ball, which they'll have to do tonight, but they've been having some problems connecting early and getting their offense on track. Ivan Wan scoring from 1 yard out on the plunge. Giving Farrington a 7-0 lead. Kicking away is on the kickoff is Talia as Baker returns it to up around his 32-yard line.
Well, it's important for Kaiser to establish a running game, mix it up with some passing, and show that they can compete with this tough Farrington team from Kalihi.
So on 1st and 10 for Kaiser at their own 32, man in motion is Fowler. The give is ahead to Baker, and he spins up and around to the 35-yard line for a pickup of about 3. This will bring up a 2nd and 7.
Up the middle by number 72. What a good wall to follow. Big number 72, Faataya.
Credit Ezekiel Dello with the tackle. And the pitch out is to Fowler here on the 2nd down play. Fowler escapes one tackle, surges ahead for the 1st down out over the 42-yard line. So Kaiser getting a little bit of their offense untracked here.
Good pitch out by number 2, Anzai. Fowler does a good job cutting his way and picking up a 1st down.
Credit Shane Rumusad along with Sean Mersberg making the tackle there for the Governors. But not before Kaiser able to pick up the 1st down, and flags go flying as encroachment, I believe, will be called against Kaiser. We'll see what the call is. Could have also been some kind of an illegal motion penalty of some kind, as it appeared Kuma also may have taken off a little too early.
Encroachment on the defense.
So the penalty called against Farrington. Instead, it seemed like the call was going to go against Kaiser, but instead a break for the Cougars gives them the ball up around midfield, specifically the 48 of the Cougars. Kaiser 1st and 5. And they call encroachment again as Fowler shifts. As Gabriel Sakaria falls into the neutral zone, and this is an automatic penalty, and this gives an automatic 1st down to the Kaiser Cougars. And now Coach Skipper Diaz obviously not happy with how his defense is playing at this point, making mental mistakes, Randy.
The cadence and the movement is what's making Farrington jump. Kaiser's making a good drive right now.
1st and 10 on the 47, Farrington territory for the Kaiser Cougars. This is Anzai. Anzai struggles. No gain as he's wrapped up and brought down by Lucio Tovio.
Tovio, the 6', 220-pound senior, does a good job plugging this hole and holds the Cougars to no gain.
As you see Anzai here struggling, trying to get out on that corner, and coming up is Tovio to wrap him up and take him down for no gain, bringing up a 2nd and 10 at the Farrington 47. And Baker ahead for just a couple of yards, as once again Tovio coming in and lowering the boom on the Kaiser offense. This game a tough defensive struggle, at least as far as the Kaiser Cougars are concerned. There's a young man enjoying the Halloween weekend. And so end of the first quarter here as we'll change ends with the Governors of Farrington leading the Kaiser Cougars 7-0. Back to action.
Mother and Father, I hope it's not a bother. Could you have a few words with me? Can we look at a book to see the meaning of words? Please read to me those words in black and white. Paint pictures big and bright. Imagination out of sight. Please read to me so I can see the meaning of words.
And back to action at Aloha Stadium. Al Morikami along with Randy Miyamoto. And back to action here at Aloha Stadium, second quarter action. Kaiser with the ball, 3rd and 8 on the 45 of the Governors. Tripp sets to the far side, and a flag goes flying. And we'll find out what the penalty is here.
Over dead ball foul. We got a snap infraction on the offense. Still 3rd down.
It's important for the Cougars to establish something now. It's 3rd down and about 12. They can't afford any mental mistakes.
And so Kaiser with the ball, 3rd and 13 on the midfield stripe. As Anzai looking downfield, picked off by the defensive back, Kyo Fatiaki. And Fatiaki returns it to Kaiser territory around the 45-yard line. Leon Zai trying to gun it to the sidelines and gets picked off, and the ball now in possession of Farrington.
Fatiaki does a good job with anticipation as he watches Anzai's eyes. Picks it off right in front of number 83, Chu. Has a nice run back. Good tackle by the quarterback, huh?
Indeed. High formation for Farrington. The give is to Asuncion. And Asuncion, 1st down yardage and more. Credit Blaine Sato again there making the tackle. As the ball advanced down to the Kaiser 30-yard line.
Again, the key, Al, is the Farrington offensive line. Look how it opens up those gaping holes, and where the defensive backs are doing most of the tackling for Kaiser.
And you can see White looking to his teammates saying, who can I block? Who do you want me to block? Well, you go left, I'll go right. And here's White Speaking of which, coming here along the far side, near side I should say, and Sato again making the tackle. Holding White, I believe, to no gain, and possibly a 1-yard loss, actually. We'll see how they spot it.
Great lateral pursuit, Al. As the Cougar defense stops and keys on White. And this is the way to take on Farrington. Good gang tackling.
Sato brought Sato along with Kevin Ho and the rest of the Kaiser Cougars, bringing down the fine runner, White, for the Governors. Split back formation now. The give is to Wand. Wand with some running room, cuts it back up inside. Takes it down to around possibly the 21, down to the 20-yard line. Possibly a first down.
I like Ivan Wand's power, Al, as he bursts through the line. Believe it or not, he's the third running back behind White and Kai, and who's nursing an injury. And Skipper Diaz wants to rest him a week for the big game next week, and Juan's doing a very good job so far.
So that brings up a 1st and 10 at the 20 of Kaiser. As Shippey going to go to the airwaves. Shippey under some pressure. Shippey gets to get out, gets to the line of scrimmage, and makes a couple of yards before finally being brought down by the Kaiser defense. Credit the defender out there for Kaiser, Kevin Ho, with the tackle.
Combination of good defense and a little bit of scrambling, and Shippey has little time to do anything but run. Good pursuit by Kaiser linebackers.
Derek Reeves coming in there and doing a good job putting the stop on him. Wand on the give. Struggles ahead for a couple of yards. David Kuma bringing him down. Power meeting power out there.
A lot of beef on that Cougar defensive line as well, as they try and stack up against a tough, big Farrington offensive line.
Juan, good job keeping his legs moving out there, Randy. Managed to pull ahead for a couple of yards, bringing up a 3rd and 2 on the 12-yard line. Shippey going to test the airwaves. And Kaiser with a opportunity to pick Shippey off in the end zone. The ball just out of the hands of Tony Pata, the defensive back, 5'9", 150, the senior.
Double coverage on this receiver. Good defense and rush by number 75, Guerrero Paua. 5'10", 230, a senior.
And you see at the end of the play there, the receiver going one way and defensive backs going the other, and Shippey expecting his man to go against the end line, instead almost picked off there. The give is to White. White to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Farrington. So on 4th and 2, Farrington able to convert from 10 yards away and crack the Kaiser end zone once again, with 8:16 remaining here in the second quarter. So it's been the Wand and White show. Is Wand going in from 1 yard out. And now in Guyan. His kick no good. So that makes it 13-0 though for the Governors, shutting out the Kaiser Cougars here with 8:16 remaining in the half. And we'll take a look again at the touchdown. Fine running here by the tailback, Joshua White.
Look at this block by number 59, Sagapolo. I bet Mr. White has a few steaks to buy the offensive line after this game.
Definitely. As they freed him up for the 10-yard run and the touchdown.
Joshua White, good running back. from Farrington, and they're loaded this year. And he really adds a lot of speed inside and outside, and just does a great job running the ball for Farrington this year.
And indeed, Farrington, second leading rushing team in the OYA Red Division, 1,294 yards on the ground. Add to that 854 yards through the air for an overall count of 2,148 yards for a 6-game season. That's pretty awesome offense, all right. So the Governors looking to advance into the second round of the OYA playoffs next weekend at Aloha Stadium. As the Cougars take to the field with their return team, Reggie Baker standing up around his 12-yard line. It'll be Patelo Talia to kick off here, with the Governors leading 13-0. Kaiser coming in as the top OIA Blue Division team. And Baker takes in the kickoff. Baker up over the 25, struggles up around to his 30-yard line, and Kaiser will have possession of the ball, 1st and 10 from there. Kaiser, combination of errors and just good defense on the part of Farrington, having a tough time trying to get their offense on track.
Baker tries to find that seam, but again, it's a little bit like the traffic down at Leaky Leaky and
at 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
yeah.
So 1st and 10 on the 30 for the Cougars, and just as they get the ball snapped, flags go flying, and we'll see what this is all about.
Looks like a penalty on the offense as they walk back.
Of a dead ball fall, snap infraction on the offense. Repeat first down.
I see a lot of this happening, Al, in the high school level, where mistiming or mishearing the counts lead to a lot of this encroachment on the offensive unit.
So 7:37 remaining here in the first half. Kaiser looking to get their offense on track, but going backwards here with a 1st and 15 at their own 25. This is Baker, and Baker on the corner, finding some good running room. Able to pick up some good yardage up around to his own 35-yard line. Pick up of about 10 on the play. Ball will be spotted just touching the 25-yard line.
Watch Baker as he follows the blocks of number 64, Winston Griffith, and big number 72, Chris Boyd. That's what speed does for you, Al.
As Waianae found out against Kalaheo in their game.
Yes, sir.
Fowler in motion to the far side. Anzai hopping around. Anzai escapes another tackle. Anzai out to midfield into Farrington territory up around the 47-yard line. As you pointed out, Randy, speed kills.
Although the crowd is booing, mostly Farrington crowd, Anzai did a smart thing. 6:32 left in the second quarter. He wants to save his body for the remainder of the game. Oh.
Good ability by the young man jumping out of the tackle of the Farrington defender Tovio there and able to take it downfield and get into Farrington territory and getting out of bounds there as Rumusad comes over to make sure he's out of bounds. So 1st and 10 up on the Farrington 47. Kuma, the power back, hits the line of scrimmage, or I should say it's Baker hitting the line of scrimmage. Might have got a yard at most, if that.
Big hit by Mr. Noga, John Noga. 6'1", 220, a senior. Hope Bob Wagner and his boys are watching this game.
No gain on the play, so that brings up a 2nd and 10 now on the 47. 5:54 remaining in the first half. Kaiser with 3 receivers to the far side. Now Fowler in motion. And Anzai trying to turn it up, and oh boy did he get leveled. Ezekiel Dello, the man for Farrington, knocking him off his feet. I believe either he or Tovio,
Yeah.
one of the two. As
Good
we'll see here.
pursuit by the Farrington line. And Mr. Tovio ushers him to the ground. 3rd and 10 for the Cougars. Big play here, Al.
Shotgun formation for Anzai as he sends Fowler in motion. And once again, Anzai not happy with what he sees out there and calls timeout. With 5:04 remaining here in the first half, it's 13-0. Farrington ahead of Kaiser.
Hi, son. What you doing?
Fixing the string.
All right. You need some help?
Yeah.
What you got? What you doing? Booking it out? Or the man over there?
Got it.
Okay, got it. Got it?
Yep.
Okay, son. Ready to go in the front?
Ready to go.
Oh.
And back to action at Aloha Stadium. 5:04 remaining. I'm Al Morikami along with Randy Miyamoto, bringing you tonight's OIA football game. 3rd down and 10 on the 47 of Farrington for the Kaiser Cougars. Cougars looking to try and pick up a first down here. And on the reverse sweep,
Wow.
on the fake, Anzai, excellent ball handling, breaks it deep into Farrington territory, down around the 29. Good fake to Chu.
Good misdirection, Al. This is the way to beat the Farrington on-rushing linemen.
Oh, excellent fake there. As Anzai set up the pass, didn't see anybody and just took off on his own.
He shows good instinct, doesn't he, Al?
Indeed. Taking the ball up around the 27-yard line for a 1st and 10 Kaiser. Cougars threatening. They trail 13-0. They need some points on the board here before the half. The give is to Fowler. Fowler caught in his own backfield. Good pursuit by the Farrington defense as they bring him down back around the Governor's 30-yard line.
Watch Ezekiel Dello as he reads the play, follows number 11, Fowler, and puts a stop. A good help by number 78, Isako.
So that brings up a 2nd and 13 on the 30, and flags go flying again. As the referees confer with head referee Glenn Young.
I got dead ball fall, encroachment on the offense.
So on the encroachment call, Kaiser, just when it seemed that they were threatening now, being turned back by a combination of Farrington defense and their own mistakes. Ball now at the 35 of the Governors. Kaiser looking now at a 2nd and 18 back on the 35-yard line. Trip sets to the far side for the Cougars. Pass is completed out to Fowler. Fowler with some running room. Fowler to the 20. Fowler down to the 19-yard line. Max Fowler, their 2nd leading receiver, or I should say 3rd leading receiver for Kaiser.
Cougars doing a great job, Al, of mixing up the plays. Run, pass, option right, option left. Short passes, making the Governors think. Not only run, but pass as well, keeping them on their toes.
Fowler, their big play man, with a 15.7 yards per catch average. Tells you who they like to go to in the big situations. Man in motion again is Fowler. Unzai on the delay draw. Baker, first down yardage. Baker out inside the 10-yard line. They officially spot him around the 7. Good run by the young man there. Picking up first down and setting up a goal to go now for Kaiser.
Watch Baker, Al, as he just holds up. Follows that big hole by number 71. Eludes a tackle and makes it for a first down.
And credit on the force, Kio Fatiaki, forcing Baker out of bounds, saving the touchdown for Farrington. Farrington leading 13-0 here, 2:41 remaining in the first half. But Kaiser threatening, going upstairs with a man, Fowler, touchdown. Unzai finding Fowler on the fade pattern to the near corner, and it results in a Cougar touchdown. 2:36 remaining in the first half.
Unzai seen 1-on-1 coverage. Lost that pass up. And it's a sweet catch.
So from 7 yards out, Unzai to Fowler, and the extra point kick is blocked. So our score now 13-6. The Governors leading the Cougars of Kaiser with 2:36 remaining here in the first half. So a morale booster, Randy, for the Kaiser Cougars, able to punch it in.
Give credit to the Cougar offense, leading their league, the OI Blue. They had a good mixture of rushing and passing and led their division with 325.7 yards a game. Nice pass as he floats it right over the defender and into his hands. Great catch, great pass.
So Kaiser able to put together their offense and able to put together a nice scoring drive with the help of a penalty and a couple of big catches by Fowler. Able to close within 7 points now at 13-6. Farrington. 2:36 remaining here in the first half. So now both teams huddled up. We'll see if Kaiser tries to go onside kick here. Try and get another quick score with 2:36 remaining in the first half. See how they set things up here. Paulson Leong, along with Arnell Batoon, set up to return the kick. As kicking off for Kaiser will be Shane Matamoy. And Matamoy goes onside kick, and this will roll out of bounds at the 25-yard line. And this will be an illegal procedure call against Kaiser as the Cougars looking to skitter the ball out of bounds and perhaps try and get a recovery, but they don't get it, and instead it'll be Farrington ball up around the 35-yard line.
Give credit to the Kaiser coaching staff. Like Coach Tim Seaman said, they have to put some surprises in this game, and they tried to do that with this onside kick.
So now referee Glenn Young talking with team captain Kamealoha Kaneakua. Try to say that 5 times fast.
With a Tootsie Roll.
Indeed.
Yeah.
As we are here on a Halloween weekend at Aloha Stadium.
Ball will be put in play on the 35.
So the ball will be 1st and 10, Farrington at the 35. As Corey Shippey brings his teammates up to the line and sets the offensive unit down for the Governors. Ball is out to White. White tries to spin out of the tackle of Blaine Sato, but Sato will not let go. Kind of like a moray eel out there.
Sato's a tough cookie. Sees the play happening. Watches Shippey's eyes. And makes a good tackle around the waist.
And Josh Zeus White being brought down for no gain at his own 35. I formation. And again, Assumption stop for maybe a yard gain at most, if that.
It's important now, Al, that Farrington regained that momentum that Kaiser now has. Big third down play, 3rd and 9. Kaiser Cougars are ready for this one. Big play.
As David and Kuma and company set up their defensive unit. I formation for the Farrington offense. Zeus White with the ball. Zeus White stumbles and he is brought down by the Cougar defense. Kevin Ho, the first man in there, the linebacker, 5'10", 170, a senior. And timeout for the Kaiser Cougars, 1:18 remaining.
Good job on number 55, Kevin Ho, and number 60, Brad Hutchinson, as they stop Mr. White for a loss. And it's punt time now.
And the Cougars with an opportunity perhaps to get another touchdown or at least a field goal on the board with 1:18 remaining here in the first half, as the Cougar faithful celebrating as they look on. This is definitely a weekend for costumes, being a Halloween weekend.
That's a good one too, Al. Real good.
4th down and 11. Ball at the Farrington, call it the 34.
This is not Farrington's #1 kicker, and so it's important to get off a good punt.
And Talia, he's blocked. And making the recovery for the Cougars, Dustin Konishi.
Good surge on this, Al, as you can see on the replay.
Talbot Kahakai not being sidelined with an injury and recovering, obviously hurting there because he is the regular punter.
Watch how number 37 is slow and delays on his punt.
And recovers his own and recovers the block kick, and Kaiser with good field position at the Farrington 10-yard line with under a minute left in the ball in the first half. Here's Anzai looking to go upstairs. Anzai has a man.
Yes.
No, he's out along the far sideline. 46 seconds remaining on the 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line. Bringing up a 2nd and goal to go now.
Dan Chu did a great job of snaring that pass. Unfortunately, it was right beyond that white stripe.
If Anzai had thrown it a second earlier, they would have had 6 points on the board on that one.
Good rollout pass. As you can see, it was a close call.
So Anzai, 2nd and goal from the 10 now. Fowler in motion to the far side. Anzai on the delay. Baker to the 5. Baker, touchdown. And Kaiser now trails by 1, 13-12. 39 seconds remaining here in the first half. So as I said, Randy, you know, that punt, that 4th down punt block proving to be rather fortuitous for Kaiser as they score to trail by 1 here, 13-12, and possibly can take the lead if they go for 2, and apparently they will.
What hurt them was that block punt with about 46 seconds left. And as you can see, Kaiser's scoring on their opportunities.
And here's the Cougars going for the deuce. Here's Anzai under some heavy pressure, and he's brought down by the defense of Farrington. Credit Paul Holtz, the linebacker, 5'9", 195, bringing him down there. But all the same, the Cougars able to come within 1 point of Farrington now with 39 seconds left in the first half.
That block punt gives them renewed confidence as they go into the halftime, although there is 30 seconds left. Good run by Baker as he eludes the defensive back. Good shifty moves by Reggie Baker, who doubles as a safety and as well as a slot back.
So Farrington leads by 1 going into the half with 39 seconds remaining, and Kaiser jumping on some mistakes and able to come up with some opportunities, able to close within 1 as they kick off here. Again, Matamoy, and getting at his wand for Farrington. Wand curls up over the 35 down to the 37-yard line for the Governors.
33 seconds left, Al. Let's see what Coach Diaz will do. Will he go for the air or play it safe on the ground and just be thankful for this 1-point lead?
Indeed, as you see here, Wand having to go high for that kickoff, but able to make 7 yards on the play. On 1st and 10, here's Shippey. He's going to go upstairs. Shippey guns it out, and it's incomplete. Intended receiver on the play is Asuncion. Covering out there on the defense, Ryan Kakuda and company.
Give credit to the Farrington offense. They're not laying back. And this pass was just a bit short, or else it would have been completed. Nice spiral. Ran out of room.
So 12 seconds left. 2nd and 10 on the 37 of the Governors. Farrington going to the air one more time behind Shippey. Shippey trying it again, and double team defense there. Credit number 2, Leon Zai. Also playing defensive back out there now at this juncture of the game.
Zai played defensive back last year, and as he doubles as a quarterback, and with Mr. Sato, they form a good 1-2 punch.
Paulson Leong, the intended receiver on the play, passed just a tad too high for him. As the Kaiser Cougar cheerleaders cheering on their defense here. 3rd down and 10 on the 37, 6 seconds left. One more time for Shippey. He'll go upstairs. Has a man, but that in and out of the hands of Arnell Batoon, and the half ends with the Governors of Farrington holding a slim 1-point lead, and a surprising Kaiser Cougar team coming back as Farrington luckily going into the locker room with a 13-12 lead.
I'll just shoot it. Yeah, and then you can shoot all that. Cool. Then attack them all over.
If you play smart like that, you get chance.
Look at this guy, he should be on the team.
And back at Aloha Stadium, ready for the second half between this OIA playoff game between Farrington and Kaiser. Just to run you down the statistics here at halftime, White for Farrington has 5 carries for 38 yards rushing. Assumption right behind him with 4 carries for 34 yards. Wand has 18 yards rushing on 3 carries. For Kaiser, Anzai has attempted 6 passes for 2 completions for 22 yards. And right off the bat, Kaiser kicking off, and coming up with it is Fainu Lele. Kolu Mane. Fainu Lele, tight end, comes up with the recovery. And Salanoa, the quarterback for the Farrington Governors, will operate 1st and 10 up around his own 36-yard line as we begin the second half action here. So 1st and 10 on the 36. With me now for the second half, Kevin Ashiro, as Zeus White, first name Josh, spins ahead for a couple of yards, pick up of about 2 or 3 on the play.
Good run there by Josh White. Finds a hole up the middle. Good push there by the offensive line of Farrington. Take a look at the replay. You take a look at Josh White. There's a good lead block there by his fullback, Ivan Wan. And the rest is all Josh White.
So that brings up a 2nd and 7 on the 39. For Salanoa and the offensive unit of Farrington. The give straight ahead is White as he angles off the right side of that Farrington offensive line for a couple of more yards.
Once again, Josh White getting the carry. It looks like that Farrington wants to establish White as the go-to guy in the second half.
Indeed, and Salanoa operating the offense tonight in replacement of Corey Shippey this evening. Bringing up a 3rd down and 4 on the 42 of the Governors. Farrington off the reverse. The give is to Assumption. And Assumption over the 40 and almost gets back to the line of scrimmage. That's pretty much it.
A great job by Kaiser stringing out the reverse.
As Blaine Salton pivoted with the tackle.
Good job there by Kaiser. Good pursuit. Kaiser, the Cougars, not fooled at all. Look at the replay as there's Sangapolu was on the carry. There's a good open field tackle by the linebacker coming up on that play.
So that forces a 4th down, and punting it away is Talia, not the regular punter, and Kaiser lets it go, and this will roll down to around the 5-yard line of the Kaiser Cougars, where Kaiser will have the ball 1st and 10 from there.
A beautiful punt there by the punter.
Talia, not the regular punter, Talbot Kahakai, who's on the sideline, still nursing an injury and being held out by Coach Skip Diaz, who's also holding out his normal starting quarterback, Corey Shippey. Fred Salanoa starting in his place this evening, as Leon Zai comes into the ball game for the Kaiser Cougars. Anzai this evening, 6 passes for 22 yards, 2 completions, 59 yards rushing on 6 carries. So Anzai generating some offense, and in that instance, though, Kuma and Baker, somebody shifts, and this will be a legal procedure against Kaiser.
I tell you what, Al, this is a position that Kaiser doesn't want to be in. They ended the first half gaining all the momentum, and now they have to come out in the second half, start off at their own 5-yard line. Now they commit a pretty big error, which will move the ball closer. You can sure bet Farrington will be coming after them on this upcoming play.
Indeed, 9:03 remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
On the defense. 2 first down.
Oh, bringing up this penalty going to be called against Skip Diaz Farrington squad, and that instead brings up a 1st and 5 at the 10-yard line of the Cougars.
Wow, Al, interesting call there. Interesting call. It looked like the back of Kaiser moved on that play.
Well, Kuma behind Anzai, and Baker shifts into an I formation. And Baker breaks it to the outside, big, 20, 25. Big pickup for Kaiser from their 10. Pickup of about 15 on the play.
Great job by Baker getting out on right end on that play.
Credit Sean Mersberg at the end of the play. They're forcing Baker out of bounds.
Let's take a look at the replay. You take a look at Baker actually wanted to go off tackle, instead bounces out to the outside and gets a pretty good running room there. Good pickup, first down.
Indeed, and the Kaiser Cougars on the march now. Coming off that penalty, Kuma, the power back, breaks loose, busts out over the 30, down to around, call it the 32-yard line, looks like.
Great job there by Kuma breaking tackles at the line of scrimmage. He was actually stopped, but it was all David Kuma on that play. Look at the replay. Check out the determination. He stopped. Kuma is stopped right there, breaks a tackle, and finally gets stopped by number 42 of the Govs.
Christopher Kahalehoi finally making the stop, but not before Kaiser brings up a 2nd and 3 on the 32. And just as they get things running, mistake on their offense, and Baker able to still get ahead for a couple of yards there, though.
Well, great job of Farrington sniffing out the option play on that time. Al, for a while there, the hole was there. You take a look at the replay. There was nothing but green, but Baker just drops the option pitch. I think had he held on, he could have gotten the first down.
So that brings up a 3rd and 6 on the 29 for the Cougars. Ball at their own 29-yard line. Zanzai sets his offensive unit up. Gives to Baker. Baker over the 30. 35. First down yardage and more. Baker to midfield.
Great job of running by Baker, getting to the outside.
Last man to force him out, I believe, number 30 of Farrington, Keo Fatiaki.
We'll take a look at the replay here. Watch Baker on the outside. Once he gets to the outside, he turns on the jets, outruns one Governor defender. Does a good job of picking up the first down.
Would be a heck of an upset if Kaiser could pull this off. Kaiser tops in the blue division, Farrington 3rd in the red.
Looks like we got a penalty against Kaiser.
And this will back them up 5 yards. So just as we say that, and just as Kaiser gets something rolling, they get hit with a penalty and they're set 5 yards backward. Ball spotted at their own 35. Kaiser will have it 1st and 15 there. 7.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Govs ahead by 1, 13-12. A block punt in part responsible for that in the first half. Here's Baker taking off again. Baker over the original line of scrimmage plus a few extra yards. Baker, give him about 7 on the play.
Well, once again, Baker on the option play, breaking it to the left side, and it looks like Baker's strongest runs are coming outside, taking it outside the tackles. Take a look at the replay. Good block there by the slot back that time. Looked like James Hirano. Good block there. It allows Baker to pick up some good yardage.
And Kuma on the give struggles ahead for about a yard or two, and that'll be about it. Credit big number 50, Lolicio Tovio with the stop, as he and Ezekiel Dello forming the heart of that Farrington defense, Kevin.
Boy, Al, I watched the Farrington and Kahuku game a couple of weeks ago, and Tovio was just the man for Farrington on defense. Outstanding defensive play for Farrington.
3rd and 6 on the 44 of Kaiser for the Cougars. The give again is to Baker this time. Baker weaves, tries to break it to the outside, but he will be well short of the first down, and a penalty flag goes flying in the defensive backfield of the Farrington Governors.
Be interesting to call, to see what the call is going to be, Al.
Cougars marching backward. Ball placed at the 45 of the Kaiser Cougars. And referee Glenn Young will explain it to us. And so penalty declined, and Kaiser forced to punt on a 4th down, and they call it 5 at the Cougar 45-yard line. As coming in is Shane Matimoy to kick it away, 5'9", 150-pound senior. And the kick away as a flag falls. As back to receive it is Paulson Leong, and Leong just watches it rolls out of bounds. Ball goes out along the Farrington 22. Flag on the play again. Up around the 45-yard line. This being explained to the Farrington captain. See if they'll take the option to force Kaiser perhaps to re-kick it, or if they'll take the ball 1st and 10. They'll force Kaiser to punt it again. From 5 yards further back, I believe it will be on the illegal procedure penalty call.
It looks like they're going to make Kaiser re-kick.
Otherwise, they would have had the ball up around their own 22.
Illegal
Now with
procedure
perhaps a chance to
on
either
the
return
offense.
or get better field
Receive
position.
4th down.
Rarely do punters ever get a better roll than what Matamoy got there. So the deep man Leong again will watch this one roll, and this one will be spotted at the 23. So about a 1-yard improvement, and that's about it. So Matamoy getting a little bit of luck and getting away a good kick, and basically the Governor's only gaining an extra yard out of the re-kick.
Well, good defensive series for Farrington. It looked like that in the late first half, Kaiser would take all the momentum away. It looked like we got Shippey back at quarterback, Al.
So Shippey now going to be running the offense for Coach Skipa Diaz, who apparently has seen enough of Fred Salanoa. Meantime, though, we take a timeout on the field with our score. Farrington leading 13-12 over Kaiser. 5:18 remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
Enter at your own risk and dare to experience the spine-chilling scares, heart-pounding horrors, and supernatural special effects at the harrowing Honolulu JC's House of Horrors 94. This blood-curdling event will happen on 7 spooky nights at the site of the old gem store on Ward Avenue. Enjoy games and prizes for the whole family with food booths, and best of all, tons of room to park your broom. For more information, call the March of Dimes at 536-1045.
And back to action at Aloha Stadium. 1st and 10 for the Governors at their own 23-yard line. Corey Shippey now in the game. And he fires complete out to his receiver, Arnell Batoon. Batoon working against the grain, and Batoon going backwards as he tries to pick up some blocking, and instead, lucky to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Maybe a loss of 1 possibly.
Well, it looked like Batoon, as soon as he caught that little out pattern, tried to run upfield, nothing developed, tried to cut it toward the opposite end. Instead, the Kaiser players were there, and it cost him about a yard loss.
And actually, he cost them a possibility to win the game when he fumbled at the 3-yard line against Waianae several weeks ago. Here's White up the middle. And a flag goes flying. And suddenly it seems like penalties stacking up against the Governors here, who lead only by a slim 13-12 margin. I'm Al Morikami, along with Kevin Hashiro, Mike Shriver, Randy Miyamoto, all here bringing you this evening's game between Kaiser and Farrington here at Aloha Stadium. OIA playoff 1st round game. And so now Farrington facing third down and call it 8 at their own 25-yard line. Shippey brings them up. And Shippey over the middle misfires for his intended receiver out there, and that's Paulson Leong. Covering on the play was Tony Pata.
Well, that's the play that Kaiser really wanted. They're going to get good field position with the ball back.
And you see along the sidelines there, Shippey along with Salanoa talking to each other. And back to punt is Talia, and he gets away a low liner. This will roll into Kaiser territory and will roll dead around the 38-yard line.
Well, looks like we got a flag. We might have roughing the kicker here against Kaiser.
And that turns out to be the case. It'll be a lucky break for Farrington. We'll give them an automatic first down. That could well turn out to be the case, as the refereeing crew, Glenn Young, brings the ball up around the 40-yard line. So what would have been a Kaiser possession instead turns out to be a Farrington possession, as Farrington will hold on to the ball on the penalty, as they'll have 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line.
Let's check out the replay. Let's see who commits the infraction. Billy Scanlon looks like committed the roughing the kicker play, and this is something Kaiser didn't want to do. They had the ball in pretty good shape.
And testing the airwaves once again will be Shippey. And Kaiser, let's see. Kaiser intercepts, picking him off back there is Tony Pata. It looked like he, from our perspective, Kevin, it looked like he might have actually trapped that, but the referees give it to him on the interception.
Boy, it was really close, Al. It was really close. Well, we got the replay here, and let's take a look. As Shippey wants to go deep on the first play after the roughing the kicker penalty, as he puts a lot of air under this.
And Pata able to pick it off in mid-flight, so it is a turnover to the Kaiser Cougars.
Well, not much difference, as Kaiser will still get the ball back.
And here's Baker. Baker trying to break it outside, and Baker ankle tackled out there by Christopher Kahalehoy.
Great job of Kahalehoy stringing out Baker that time. Take a look at this replay. Take a look at Anzai. Will once again use the option. There is Kahalehoy with a good stop, good ankle tackle there.
And Baker not that easy to ankle tackle as he's shown tonight. Baker running fairly well for Kaiser this evening. Cougars, however, trail by 1, 13-12. Anzai to give again to Baker, and Baker wrapped up and dropped in his backfield. Credit on the tackle, Aila'au Izako, defensive lineman, 6'4", 280, a junior. As Izako just wrapping up Baker on that play.
Well, this is a draw play, but Isaako is not fooled there. Says, no sirree, Mr. Baker, you're not getting past me this time.
So that brings up a 3rd and 17 on the 27 for the Cougars now. Well, it says 27 on the scoreboard, but that's more like 22 from the 22-yard line. As Anzai in some trouble, finds Fowler. Fowler runs into his own man, flags go flying, and this will probably be, I would think, illegal man downfield.
Oh, looks like the case there, Al.
As Anzai scrambling and back there looking for an open receiver, got it to Fowler, and then Fowler running into his own man up around the 30-yard line, and that being a lineman. And of course, linemen aren't supposed to be downfield on a pass play to begin with.
Well, the lineman was about 10 yards downfield, and as you saw, Fowler actually, as he was trying to cut upfield to get some yards, ran into his own lineman. Actually, it was a very interesting call. He wanted to go to foul. It looked like they were setting up some kind of screen to the near side. As we take a look at the replay, as the Farrington players, they really strung it out, and Anzai had to improvise there, running to his own lineman. Actually, you can credit the offensive lineman that time for making the tackle on his own player.
Credit Lucio Tovio with a good using the Kaiser lineman to good use there, as Anzai fires this out of bounds. And it'll bring up 4th down now.
Good pressure by the Farrington defensive lineman. And a good job by the secondary, too, of not getting fooled on play action fake. Cornerbacks really stay with the receiver.
And back deep is Paulson Leong to receive the kick from Kaiser's Matamoy. Leong back around his own 49-yard line. Just past midfield. Here's Matamoy getting away another nice kick. Leong with some blockers. Leong weaves, but then suddenly runs into a wall of Kaiser Cougars around the Kaiser 38, and then dropped back inside the 42-yard line of the Cougars.
Let's take a look at the replay. Leong actually has a lot of blockers, as you see the sea of maroon. But finally, number 75, Paoa Guerrero, closes the hole, and Leong has nowhere to go on that play.
And Blaine Sato in again to shut things down in there. Sato, for a defensive back, really gets in there. He's only 5'7", 150, but he's a senior and experienced and obviously knows where to go.
Well, you never want to count those little guys out. Sometimes the little guys are the best players on the team.
Indeed. 1:10 remaining here in the third quarter. Timeout on the field with our score. Governors with a slim 1-point lead, leading 13-12 over Kaiser.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes.
And indeed, the Kaiser Cougars, taking a little bit of advice from Pat Morita there, they trail Farrington 13-12, but Farrington with the ball here, 1st and 10 at the Kaiser 39-yard line. Shippey under center at quarterback as Salanoa has given way. And White, the ball carrier for Farrington, gets ahead for some good yardage out to the 30-yard line of the Cougars.
Boy, big hole off left tackle is there, as you see number 54, Derek Reeves, making the stop. But a big hole off left tackle, and White, taking the handoff, just explodes through that massive hole created by the left side of that offensive line.
Throwaway down situation, 2nd and 1 for Farrington. See if they try and go for the home run ball here. And White one more time. White with the first down carry down to the 29-yard line.
Great job of pursuit there by Kaiser on that time. Let's take a look at the replay here. White trying to go around the right side, trying to follow the block of his fullback, Wand. And good job tackling there by David Kuma.
So this brings up a 3rd and less than 1 now for the Farrington Governors, as White gets it again. And White should have the first down on this. Good effort.
Good second effort by Josh White that time. Was stopped initially at the line of scrimmage, but second effort, pushing his legs and just finding the hole on the left side, manages to pick up the first down.
And here you see White slipping inside and manages to find a crease and manage to get ahead for the first down as we end the third quarter with our score. Again, Farrington holding a slim 1-point lead, 13-12 over Kaiser. So back to action at Aloha Stadium. We're set here for the fourth and final quarter of action. 1st and 10 for the Governors on the Kaiser 27. Kaiser mounting a little bit of a threat, but the Farrington defense rising to the occasion and under the guidance of Corey Shippey now looking to pad their lead, which is a slim 1 point, 13-12. Zeus White ahead for about a yard or two, and that'll be about it as Kuma wraps him up and drops him to the turf.
Oh, that was a big hit by Kuma, showing not only that he can run the ball, but showing that he can also hit the guy with the ball. You look at the replay, and a huge helmet-to-helmet hit by Kuma.
So Shippey to the line once again, looking at a 2nd and 9. The give this time is to Wand, and Wand carrying Blaine Sato with him. Gets first down yardage and more to just outside the 10-yard line.
Let's take a look at the replay. And it looks like, I'm not sure, but it appears that the Kaiser defense was trying to key on Josh White, not expecting Ivan Wand to get the ball, and he just busts through a hole on the left side and gets a first down for the Govs.
And Blaine Sato getting a bit of a ride as the give again to Wand, and Wand this time wrapped up and brought down, and Sato says, not this time. But I tell you, Sato on that previous play had to feel like he was riding a bucking bronco for a while there.
I tell you, on this last play, it was Sato who actually bucked the bronco this time. Let's look at the replay. A good job of Kaiser not being fooled a second play in a row. So there's Wand, and there you see Blaine Sato with the tackle and Kuma with the assist there.
Good job. I formation once again. White and Wand in the I formation. As Shippey gives to White. White to the outside. White into the end zone. Touchdown. His second one of the night. 10:24 remaining here in the fourth quarter.
Boy, good job of Josh White getting into the end zone. He put a move on the defensive back around the 4-yard line. Tell you the truth, Al, I think Josh White is one of the best short yardage runners in the state. I've seen him do that move so many times. Once he gets in that open field, and once you have the defense or the defensive back in between him and the end zone, it's hard to bring him down because he has such good field vision that's hard to stop him to getting in that end zone.
And so Ngayan on for the extra point attempt out of the hold of Shippey. And this bounces back and make it 19-12 now. The Governors over Kaiser. So Kaiser remains within striking distance thanks to the missed extra point again by Ngayan. Second one tonight for the young man.
Boy, Al, I'm tell you what. I think that's the second extra point that hit the upright tonight. Let's take a look at the touchdown again. As there you see Josh White trying to bounce it to the outside, and there he puts a move right there on Dustin Konishi. All Josh White in the end zone. 6 points for Farrington.
So 19-12 Farrington's lead now. But Kaiser remaining within striking distance thanks to 2 missed extra point kicks by the Farrington kicker Ngayan.
Well, Al, with 10:24 left, I don't think I'd count Kaiser out, even though it seems that Farrington has all the momentum. This game just, the momentum just shifts so many times, you never know. That's exactly what happened in the first half when Farrington jumped out to that 13-0 lead. It looked like that it was going to be a Farrington blowout, and Kaiser just came storming right back. They made all the big plays that got them back into this ball game, and that's a big play is all Kaiser needs to get back in this one. And a touchdown extra point, this game's tied.
So kickoff from the 40 for Talia for Farrington. Back deep to receive is Baker. The only question you have to ask is whether Kaiser, with their thin roster, and Farrington with a much deeper roster, if the wear and tear won't affect them later on. 10:24 remaining here in the fourth quarter. A lot of time left for Kaiser to get back in this one. Too much time probably for the likes of Coach Skip Diaz and his Governors. Here's Baker as he takes it in just around his own 20. Baker looking to break it to the outside. He eludes one man. And then finally brought down back at around the 24-yard line. And a flag goes flying. And this looks like it'll be against Farrington.
let's take a look at that. As Baker tried to bounce it to the outside, had nowhere to go. Good job by Farrington special teams defense that time, not allowing the Kaiser upbacks to make any holes. This is going to be a huge penalty against Farrington.
A tackling by the face mask on a kicking tee. First down.
So a face mask penalty gives the ball to Cougars at their own 39.
Oh, and there it is. There's the face mask. And
no doubt about that.
I'm not even sure what variation. Was it the 5 or the 15-yard version?
But Anzai going upstairs, has a man open, and the Farrington defender coming in there lowers the boom. Talk about your cartouche. Chris Kahalehoy lowering the boom on James Hirano out there.
Boy, Kahalehoy playing the deep safety that time, immediately recognized what Anzai wanted to do on that play. Just check out Anzai just really looking to throw a timing pattern out there, and Kahalehoy playing center field, putting a big hit on the intended receiver.
So 2nd and 10 from their own 39-yard line for the Kaiser Cougars. Double slot formation. Trips to the far side. Now Fowler in motion. Baker slings it down deep, and this way beyond the grasp of the intended receiver out there, Daniel Chu.
Oh, Al, Chu was wide open. If Baker had gotten the ball to Chu earlier, he is gone. He had beaten the Farrington defensive back by a good 5-10 yards. Oh, big tough break for Kaiser that time. They really could have used that play.
If Baker had also kept the ball in bounds, would have been better yet.
Yes.
So that brings up a 3rd and 10. Crucial situation now for Kaiser. They need to hold on to the ball. They need to keep momentum. Tripp sets on the near side now. Fowler in motion to the near side. And here's Anzai. Anzai rolling. Heavy pressure. Anzai goes out along the original line of scrimmage, and that is all.
Great job of the Farrington secondary that time. Good coverage, holding the Kaiser wide receivers. You take a look at Anzai, who really tried to make something out of nothing, and actually nothing is what Anzai got on this play.
Credit Paul Holtz wrapping him up, and Matamoy again on to kick. Back deep, Paulson Leong. And Matamoy gets that one away, but here goes the flag, and in the meantime, Leong returning it up over his 42, but it'll all come back as Matamoy drawing the penalty as a Farrington man running into the Kaiser kicker there. And this will be an automatic first down for Kaiser.
Boy, and this is something that Kaiser really needed at this time in the game. 9:30 left. They needed a big play to help them push themselves back in this game, and who knows, maybe this is the play that will help them get on the scoreboard again.
So 9:31 remaining, 1st and 10 on the Farrington 45. As we'll take another look at it here.
Oh, and there you see that. Yeah, there you see the helmet. Ezekiel Dello putting the helmet right in the stomach of the kicker.
So 1st and 10 at the Farrington 45 for the Governors. Double slot formation. Little misdirection. And Baker gets ahead for about a yard, possibly 2.
Good job by Farrington staying home on that, not trying to be fooled by that triple option. You see the tackle there made by Rodwell Talaiai.
Talaiai going 6 feet 225. He's a senior for the Farrington Governors, anchoring the line as Kaiser comes up on 2nd and 9 at the Farrington 44. Here's Anzai. Anzai with a man open, and the pass complete to Fowler, and they call it a catch inside Farrington territory around the 28.
Great reception there by Fowler. That ball was thrown way behind him, and add to that, there's a defensive back right in his face. Look at the replay. This is a great catch by Fowler. this ball is thrown way behind, and Fowler had to reach behind his body and pull the reception down. Great athletic move there by Fowler.
So that brings up a 1st and 10 now. Ball spotted at about, call it the 27 of Farrington. And Unzai in trouble, and Unzai upended there by Rod Kala'ai. And when I say upended, Kevin, oh boy, was he upended.
Well, you're talking about a horse collar job that time.
Watch
look at the
this.
replay. Oh my, I can't believe this hit. Oh, look at that. A horse collar job there.
But Unzai, unhurt, comes up on a 2nd and 13 now at the Governor 30. Tripp sets to the far side. Fowler in motion to the near side now. And a deep pass. And it's picked off for a Farrington touchback. And apparently, I guess, miscommunication between the receivers out there for Kaiser. The Kaiser receiver cutting to the outside and Unzai throwing to the inside, and it's picked off by the defensive back out there. Credit Kio Fatiaki with the pickoff, as you see here.
Boy, this is something that Unzai really wants to get back. Throwing into triple coverage, not something you want to do. And besides, Unzai was also pressured heavily on that play.
So Shippey and company, I formation. The give to White. White ahead for a couple of yards, and Kuma trips him up.
Big tackle there by Kuma. Important series for Kaiser on this possession, I think, Al.
Indeed. They trail only 19-12.
Well, there you see. A good job. Excuse me. That was number 45 for Kaiser. Good tackle there by that young man.
So Shippey brings them up on 2nd and 6. And the give again to White. White with 1st down yardage as he cracks the 30-yard line and gets up to around the 32.
Great job by Josh White avoiding the tackler in the backfield. Put a little move on the defensive lineman. Take a look at the replay. There you see Josh White with the handoff and puts a little stutter step. I believe that was Kuma who bit on that play. Josh White picking up some more yards. Still gets the 1st down for Farrington.
And Corey Shippey now with split backs behind him. Slot man to the far side. Or actually a wing back to the far side, should say. And Shippey going to test the airwaves. Has Leong. And Leong triple covered down there. Trying to go for the pickoff was Ryan Kakuda.
Boy, Al Kakuda not full on that play. Skippy tried to, with that pump fake, tried to get Kakuma. Tried to force him to break off his defensive route. Instead, Kakuda stays at home and almost comes up with the pick.
So 6:39 remaining in the ball game. Governor's clinging to a 19-12 lead, and we do mean clinging. Kaiser with no score on the board. Governor's only able to generate 6 points in the 2nd half. Here's White on the pitch. And White wrapped up by the Kaiser defense.
Looked like some, I'm not sure, but it looked like there may have been some miscommunication on that play.
As White on the pitch out got wrapped up, and that brings up a 3rd and 12 now.
Talk about a swarming Kaiser defense that time. They were all over Josh White there.
Kevin Ho and company bringing him down. Pro set to the near side. As Shippey fires out, and this skips on the ground before finding the receiver, Molesi Sangapolu, on the play.
There was Guerrero putting the pressure on Skippy. Big defensive stop for Kaiser that time with just under 6 minutes left. They needed that defensive stop.
Kaiser can come back within 1 with a touchdown and take the lead on a 2-point conversion if they can get the ball into the end zone. on this next possession.
Here they come again.
As they put a heavy rush on the kicker, Talia. And then finally the ball downed at the 45-yard line of the Governors.
Boy, how close was that, Al, to becoming another block punt.
Farrington living dangerously this evening, but as they have all season long.
Yes, sirree.
You really get the feeling Kaiser, you know, out there with the general feeling that, hey, they're still in this. You can just tell from the way they're playing out there. As we have a timeout on the field with our score, the Governors leading 19-12 over the Cougars, 5:41 remaining in the fourth quarter.
It takes 4 tanks of fuel to get them there and back, and they're not planning to stop till they get home. Air National Guard.
And back to action at Aloha Stadium. Fans looking on, and very challenging game for both Kaiser and for Farrington. Farrington up 19-12 here, but Kaiser looking to perhaps stick the ball in the end zone and perhaps tie this up. This is a playoff game, so we will go to an extra period if the game is tied. Trip sets to the near side for the Cougars. As Anzai flips it out to Fowler. Fowler spins into Farrington territory, gets up around, call it the 44-yard line. But they'll spot it back around, call it the 46, possibly the 45.
Oh, great job by Fowler. Once again, coming up with another great catch. Take a look at Anzai throwing the ball. And this ball was actually, appeared to be a little bit overthrown, but Fowler stretching out to make that reception.
And finally, credit the defender for Farrington, Chris Kahalehoy, wrapping up Fowler there at the end of the play, bringing up a second short. And Fowler suddenly takes off, and it'll be a penalty against Kaiser. So just when Kaiser getting something good, hurt themselves with a penalty here.
On the offense.
Fowler going off sides.
Well, I'm not sure what happened on that play, Al. Looks like Fowler got a little too anxious on that one.
So that'll bring up now a 2nd and 6 at midfield for the Cougars.
All of a sudden, Al, Kaiser's going to the shotgun formation after not showing that formation most of the game.
It may be the fatigue factor finally beginning to make itself felt with 4:38 remaining here. Fowler in motion to the far side, 4 receivers to that side of the field. The give is to Baker, however, and a flag goes flying in the area where you usually expect holding.
And it looks like it's going to go against Kaiser this time.
And we were just talking a second ago about the fatigue factor and holding among those things that you see as a team begins to get tired.
Boy, this is really going to cost Kaiser a lot. They could have had about 3rd down and maybe about a yard to go for the 1st down. Instead, it's going to be 2nd and long.
And ball placed down at the 40-yard line of the Kaiser Cougars.
On the offense. Repeat 2nd down.
Last 2 possessions, Al, Kaiser really hurting themselves with some mistakes. Interception and now a holding penalty.
2nd and 16, ball at the 40 of the Kaiser Cougars. Anzai back to pass. Anzai with a man wide open, and that is a fumble, and apparently, let's see, Farrington says they have it, and they do.
Boy, what a turn of events that time, Al. Unbelievable play.
The receiver for Kaiser pulling it in and then getting wrapped in the ball, popping loose, and Farrington able to come up with the turnover.
Let's take a look at the replay as Anzai drilling the ball right there into Daniel Chu, the receiver. And as Chu tries to get more yards, there the ball is, he gets a helmet. I'm not sure who it was who got his helmet, it looked like it was Shane Rumasad.
So thanks to Shane Rumasad's hit, Farrington with the ball and Zeus White on the loose. White to midfield and into Kaiser territory. They call it the 47, and White with a big run for the Farrington Governors.
Boy, that's what Farrington needed badly. A big play after a big play of their own. Look at Zeus White on the end around. Gets a good block there by Leong. And then a big forearm there. Pick up about 10 more yards.
So the Farrington Governors now on the march in Kaiser territory. They come out I formation. It's been the night for Zeus White. On the give, giving him a little bit of break and getting a couple of yards there. I believe that's Jonard Assumption. Boy, you got to wonder, boy, if they can get Talbot Kahakai back, you know, going into the semifinal game next week. Oh, boy, Kevin, I tell you.
Yeah, look out. And here's that misdirection play to Assumption. But Kaiser not biting on that play, stringing him out and a gain of only a couple of yards. But you're right. If they get Kahakai back, this Farrington team could be extremely dangerous.
Because Assumption making good yardage there, but Kahakai would have made it really great yardage for them. Here's Juan, the backup fullback, who plays behind Kahakai. Once again, he might have made a yard, and that might have been about it.
And once again, a very good job of Kaiser defense pursuing and holding them to third down. Look at the replay as they try to go off tackle to Juan. And once again, there's David Kuma with a huge forearm, and it sends Juan just flying. And looks like Kaiser calls a timeout. 2:53 left. May have been a wise call.
And 19-12, Farrington leads, however, with 2:53 remaining in the ball game. We take timeout. And the blue dot wins. Of course, blue, one of the two colors of the Kaiser Cougars, and they're hoping to pull something out here, but that beginning to dim just a little bit here. 3rd and 6 on the 42 of Kaiser for the Farrington Governors. 2:53 remaining in the ball game, and right now the Governors on the march.
Kaiser needs a big play right here. They cannot afford to give up another first down.
And we resume action as Shippey brings his offensive unit up to the line for the Governors. And the end around. This is Sangapolu, and Sangapolu ahead for first down yardage and more down to the Kaiser 30-yard line.
A good play there by Farrington. Great play calling by Skipper Diaz. They fake the fullback dive. Instead, they use that little end around play with the wide receiver. It gives them a first down for Farrington. Clock is now the enemy of the Kaiser Cougars. 2.5 minutes left to play in this one, and their chances aren't looking that good.
2:24 remaining now. 1st and 10, ball at the 30. As Farrington holding up the action here, making sure that chest pads and everything in place for player safety out there.
Boy, with all the hitting that's been going on in this game, you better make sure that your equipment's on properly.
Indeed. And if things stay as they are, the OIA playoffs, the semifinals, will see red, as it'll be all red division teams in there. They'll give credit to Kaiser as well as to Kalaheo out of the blue and the white divisions respectively for their effort in the first round. As Assumption gets the carry, makes a couple of yards here.
Well, Farrington in no hurry to get back into their offense. Time is their friend.
As the clock winds down to 2 minutes, as we now drop to inside of the 2-minute mark. Kaiser making a substitution on defense here. And the give once again is to Zeus White. Tests the middle and gets turned back by the Kaiser defense.
Good job by there. Kevin Ho, I believe, the first man there to make the tackle. Brings up another third down. Kaiser takes another timeout.
So Kaiser trying to use every bit of trying to save every second that they can. They still have 2 timeouts on the board, or rather now only 1 timeout compared to just 3 for the Governors. So with timeout on the field, the Governors lead it 19-12 over Kaiser with 1:39 remaining in the ball game. And back to action. Farrington with the ball. 3rd down and 8 at the Cougar 28. The give to Wand, and Wand gets about another 2 yards, possibly 3, down to the 25-yard line of the Cougars, where it'll bring up a 4th down now for Farrington.
Kevin Ho for the 2nd straight play making the big stop. It's 4th down. An interesting call by Farrington here. What play does Skip Diaz call this time on 4th down and about 6? Ball's at the Kaiser 26-yard line.
As Farrington calls timeout to talk this one over, or I believe this may be a Kaiser timeout. Let's see. As we take timeout here with 1:34 remaining, Farrington leading 19-12 over the Kaiser Cougars.
In a way, this is the next logical step. Everything I've done has led to this moment, but I never quite imagined this. Joining the Coast Guard launched me into a universe of opportunity and challenge.
I'm Commander Bruce Melnick, United States Coast Guard. Take that first step today. It could very well be one giant leap.
The Coast Guard and Coast Guard Reserve. Call toll-free or see your Coast Guard recruiter.
And back to action at Aloha Stadium. 1 minute, 34 seconds. 4th and 6 on the 26 for the Farrington Governors. And timeout called by Farrington once again. That leaves both teams with just 1 timeout each with 1:34 remaining here in the 4th quarter.
Apparently Farrington just wanted to see what kind of defense Kaiser wanted to throw at him, calling timeout as soon as they went under formation.
It's going to have to be good. Kaiser able to find a few creases in that Farrington defense. So they'll need a big play here, as you see Coach Tim Seaman and his Kaiser Cougars along the sideline. And they're among the Farrington faithful along their sidelines. Kaiser can tie this with a touchdown and an extra point. They can take the lead if they go for the deuce. And being a playoff game, if the game ends in a tie, we go to an extra period.
Big play here. Could be the play of the game.
Indeed. 4th and 6 on the 26. Split backs. Here's Shippey. Under pressure. And it's complete to White.
Whoa,
down at the 5-yard line.
Oh, my goodness. What a catch by Josh White. But Skippy, credit Skippy with a great throw, splitting the defenders that time to get the first down. I'm impressed with that throw, Al. Very, very good throw.
Gutty play by the Farrington Governors.
Well, there you see, as you see Kuma chasing Skippy, and Skippy just unloading this, and the perfect pass where only White can come up with it. Great play.
Indeed. Here's White again. White into the end zone, touchdown. So Zeus White, for the third time this evening, from 5 yards out, pads the score for the Farrington Governors.
Boy, Josh White, one of the premier backs in the state. Great job of Josh White looking for the hole that time. Basically putting this game away for Farrington.
25-12 the score now. Here's the extra point kick, this time by Talia. And Talia misses this one. He's normally the kickoff kicker. But at this point, the extra point itself moot, as Farrington takes a 25-12 lead here in the ball game with just over a minute to play.
Well, let's take a look at the touchdown. You see Josh White trying to go off tackle. And look at that cut. A great cut there by Josh White, just following his offensive lineman into the end zone for a touchdown.
So 25-12 now our score, as the missed extra points creating some drama, but in the long run, Josh Zeus White taking control of this ball game, scoring 3 touchdowns this evening, 2 from 10 yards out, and the last one just a few seconds ago from about 5 yards out. But more importantly, coming up with a big catch down at the 5-yard line on that 4th and 6.
Boy, Al, those last 2 plays were all Josh White.
If one person could influence and turn around a ball game, it certainly is Mr. White tonight.
And Josh White showing why he is one of Farrington's most looked upon players to carry them. And if Josh White gets his motors going with Kahakai coming back, this could be a sleeper team in the OIA playoffs.
They could indeed, next to Waipahu. Though Kahuku top ranked, and so's Waianae, but neither team unbeatable. And Baker takes the kickoff, working it up over the 25, and the ball pops loose, and Farrington comes up with it. So defense and turnovers proving to be the death knell this evening for the Kaiser Cougars.
Well, we talked about it earlier in this half, Al. Big plays would determine the outcome of this game as Farrington makes another big play. Take a look at the play here, and it looks like the fumble was caused. I'm not sure. It looks like number 30, Keone Kealo Fatiaki.
So on 1st and 10 at the 25 of Kaiser, Corey Shippey looking over the Kaiser defense, looking over his own team, not liking what he sees, calls timeout with 35 seconds left in the ball game. Now, why would you want to call a timeout here? Would have been better just to have taken the delay of game and let the clock run out.
That's right.
Farrington leading 25-12 at this juncture. Kaiser, though, able to hold on by their fingertips, scoring 12 points in the second quarter to make this a close one at 13-12 before 12 unanswered points here in the fourth quarter by Farrington has pretty much put this game away, but not until the really late going. Kaiser, for the most part, being able to just hang on and stay within striking distance.
We saw it in that first game, Al.
You have to really give it to Kaiser and to Kalaheo, the way they basically went toe-to-toe for the most part with these two red division opponents, Waianae in the first game, and then in the second game, Kaiser with the Farrington Governors.
I'm very impressive by Kalaheo and Kaiser for hanging in there, but in the end, OIA red, just too tough.
And last play of the ball game. The give is to Paulo Talia, and he takes it ahead for a couple of yards, and that's the last play of the ball game as time runs out. Our final score this evening, the Farrington Governors pull out a 25-12 win over a very feisty Kaiser Cougar squad. For Kevin Hashiro, Randy Miyamoto, and Mike Shriver, along with Jesse Tovez, I'm Al Morikami. Have a good evening, everyone, and a safe Halloween.